Welcome to our Freshman Ready course. Today we are going to be talking about goal setting because people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. So teachers, at this point I would like for you to hand out 2 packs of Smarties and 2 post-it notes for students to be able to use during this lesson. So while teachers are passing those out, students, I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction to the activity. So today we are doing a Smarties stacking competition. So you'll have 2 rounds where you will have the goal to be able to stack as many Smarties as you can in a vertical column. So you're stacking one on top of the other. Each round you'll be given 1 minute to stack the candies on top of each other, and one of your post-it notes is for you to stack them on so you don't have to put them on the desk. In this round, you may only use one hand. I do not care which, but make sure you use the same hand the whole time. And the candy must be standing 5 seconds after the buzzer to count. So, students, at this point you should have your two post-it notes and your 2 packs of Smarties, and you are going to just stack as many Smarties as you can in a vertical column in 1 minute, and they have to be standing after 5 seconds in order for them to count. All right, so here we go. This is our 1 minute timer. Ready? And start stacking. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, and stop stacking. So now we've got 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now, students, you should take a couple seconds to count however many candies are still standing. I want you to write that at the bottom of the post-it note that you are stacking your candies on. So that's your round 1 number. So now you're looking at, now we're going to start round 2. So round 2, I want you to set a goal for how many Smarties you'd like to stack. You can make a really good estimate now, but this time you have to stack with your non-dominant hand. So for instance, I write with my right hand, and I use my right hand to do many of my life functions. So I would have to stack my candies with my left hand. We're doing that just because life's full of surprises and you never know what's going to be thrown at you. So again, the candy must be standing 5 seconds after the buzzer for you to count. And the only thing that's changed this time is that you have a goal. So I want you to write that goal next to your on your post-it note, and I want you to remember to use your non-dominant hand. All right, again, we are starting stacking right now. All right, y'all, we have 10 seconds left. Make sure to focus and try to achieve that goal. 3, 2, 1, and stop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now you can go ahead and count how many are still standing. So students, I want you to discuss with a partner, did you stack more in round 1 or round 2, and why do you think that was the case? And what obstacle did you face in round 2 that you did not face in round 1? What environmental influences came into play? So what are some things that might have happened that changed yours? And what lessons about goal setting do you think we can draw from this exercise? So teachers, at this point, I want you to please pause the video so that your students have an opportunity to collaborate, and then you all can debrief these questions together. All right, so goal setting is a really interesting concept to talk about. So we have a pretty famous study that was done with the Harvard Masters in Business Administration's class of 1979. So it was a goal setting study, and basically they just talked to these students about their goals. And so 84% of the students said they had no specific goals at all. 13% said they had goals, but they were not committed to paper, so meaning that they simply hadn't written them down. And 3% said that they had taken the time to write down clear goals and their plans to accomplish them. And so just looking at the follow-up, they followed up with them 10 years later, right? So 1979 to 1989. And the 13% of the class who said they had goals, they were earning on average twice as much as the 84% who had no goals at all, which is a pretty staggering difference. But even more staggering or surprising is the 3% who had clear written goals were earning on average 10 times as much as the other 97% put together. So in a nutshell, those who wrote their goals accomplished significantly more than those who did not write their goals. Why? Because they had written down those goals, they had committed to them, and it gave them something to be accountable to. So I want you all to think, do you set goals? So goals are important. Goals provide us with direction, and they give us commitments, and they help us kind of direct our energies so that we can make our future. And so setting a goal is important because if you don't know where you're going, you're likely to end up somewhere else. So if you think of your goal as your final destination and you don't know where that final destination is, there's no way for you to plan on how to get there. So if you're planning for success, you need to make sure that you have goals so that you can reach what your definition of success is. So some sample goals that we have are getting accepted into a specific college, obtaining a summer job at Subway by June, losing 10 pounds within the next month, or increasing my maximum bench press to 315 pounds within 6 months. So why is it important to set goals? It gives you an opportunity to take control of your life. You're able to focus on important things and take time to make good decisions. And then with all this planning, you'd be more confident and enthusiastic, and you'll be able to make progress and become closer to your definition of success. So there are 3 different types of goals. So today we practice making short-term goals because they fell in that 0 to 6 months. Medium-term goals would be anywhere from 6 months to 2 years, and then long-term goals could be from 2 years and beyond. So I'm sure that you all have heard of SMART goals sometime in middle school, and SMART is an acronym for making goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So specific goals. So if you are trying to accomplish a specific goal, you have to ask yourself, what details do you want to accomplish? So if you say, I want to do better in history, that encompasses a lot. So there are a lot of things that you could do better in history. But if you say, I want to increase my history grade from 85% to 90%, we know exactly what you want to do. Measurable. So all goals should have a way to evaluate whether or not they were accomplished. So if you say, I want to run the mile better, we don't know what that actually looks like or what that means. So a better goal would be, I want to improve my mile time by 30 seconds, because that's a measurable goal. Attainable. So goals must be something that you are capable of reaching. So back when Tom Brady hurt his knee, a goal, if we were looking at him and we said, like, okay, which one of these would be a better goal for Tom Brady? Is it, I will be able to help my team win the Super Bowl? Probably not, because his knee is really, his knee was very messed up back when I wrote this presentation. So a better goal for him would be, I will rehabilitate my knee so that I can play football again next season. So realistic. So make goals that are important to you and your lifestyle, and also that are realistic. So which goal would be better for an elementary school teacher? So my goal is to discover a cure for cancer, or my goal is to inspire at least one student to become a doctor to research a cure for cancer. So we are looking at an elementary teacher's lifestyle. Probably not doing a lot of research that would contribute towards discovering a cure for cancer on their daily basis, because they're trying to teach our young children. So their goal, something that would better fit within their lifestyle, is being able to inspire a student. Finally, the last part of our acronym is timely. So make sure that you have a time set as a deadline so that your goal is not unending. I know that I do this all the time. So you might set a goal and say, my goal is to be able to run a half marathon. Okay, we want to know when, so you have some sense of urgency to achieve this goal. So if you say, my goal is to run in a half marathon by May of 2020, then yes, you would have a sense of urgency and start planning on how to develop your training plan and things like that. So obviously it's not always easy to obtain your goals. You're definitely going to face obstacles. So obstacles can be things that slow you down, or things that get in the way that that may take you longer to reach your goals. So all of you already have innate skills and abilities to be able to overcome these obstacles. So the first thing is just trying to figure out, try just to identify any obstacles that you might face before you even start pursuing your goals, so that you can prevent those surprises and you can plan on how you'll get over those obstacles. Also, educating yourself, seeking advice from someone, and keeping a positive attitude are all great strategies to be able to overcome those obstacles. So as our final activity for the day, I want you to take the other sticky note that was provided to you and write 2 SMART goals. One of these goals should be a short-term goal, so again, that's between 0 and 6 months, and one should be a long-term goal, which is 2 years and beyond. So I want these to be placed inside of your ready folder so that you can see them often. Also, another thing I want you to do is make sure there's no trash in your teacher's room. Thank you for being such great listeners, and I hope you have a great day.